So right there, you've already mentioned so many different things. There's this idea of having born in 1972, which is one identity, right? There's a group of people who are the children mostly of the independence generation, and there's an identity that we share around that.
Right.
There's this idea of being Nairobian, especially at a time when it was much smaller and coming up. And at that time, there's an identity around being a Nairobian. You've mentioned being a filmmaker. That's an identity. Many people who know what Parklands is, there's something around there. And then when you talk about being Ismaili, and then the mosque, it sounds like there's Islam, but then Ismaili is a certain sort of that. So I'd like to go into each of those. So tell me about growing up in your family. Like, where did you fall in the family, and what was that like?
Okay, just to give you a bit of background, I guess like a lot of families, my grandparents came when they were very young, around the turn of the century, so that would have been in the late 1800s. And they came from Gujarat, and they came when they were very young. So my grandfather on my paternal side must have been about 13, 14. And at that time in Gujarat and that part of India, there was a lot of famine. So really, it was very different from what it is now today. Gujarat then was a dust bowl.
A place you want to get away from.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were economic migrants. Yeah. And it's very different from, the Gujarat today, because Gujarat is now, vibrant. It's an economic powerhouse. In those days, there was nothing. And people were prepared to go at the age of 12 or 13. They were sent away because there was no opportunity for them, back at home. So they often went, in their early teens, and they landed. They were given a reference. They were given literally a one-way ticket on a dhow, and they landed, and they would have, wherever they landed, wherever they connected, they would have a relative or a friend, and they would typically work as an apprentice in the shop until they got enough money and open up their own shop. So that's what you get the Dukawala.